Whoops.
Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. Today, we're lucky to have Dr. Gail Skywalking with Moon with us. Yay. Thanks, Dr. Gail, for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's been too long. It seems like it's been months since we've seen you on our channel, so I'm glad to have you today.
Years. It feels like years.
Well, it does feel like years, but I think it's just
more like months.
I think it is more like months.
Yeah, but it feels like years.
It really does.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone in the chat.
I always enjoy both of you.
Thank you, sweetie. We certainly enjoy you and your antics. Let's just say hi to some people. Teresa, Cheryl, Dream Journey 1, Jenny, Starfish, Juno, Liz Daly, Amanda Carroll, Susie 007. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Deep Albuquerque. Love that.
I heard that one. Junosphere.
Thanks for being here. We're just going to get an update from Dr. Gail. So if you guys have some questions, not personal questions preferably, but just some questions that we encourage chat participation. So if you have any comments or questions, please just put them in caps and emojis so the old crone eyes can see them. We'd appreciate that very much.
Y'all are just so professional.
I like to play around with it. I'm always learning stuff with this computers and StreamYard, and I see people do things on it, and I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. Like today, I've always want our guests to be at the top so that you stand out as our guest. But the way they had the arrangements, you couldn't do it. But it let me create one. So that was great. So something new.
So you can create your arrangement on StreamYard.
Yeah, that little plus key at the bottom of the picture thing, it lets you do. And then it took my picture and it took it up to the top. And then I had to use the hand to make it smaller or larger. I had them overlapping. And when I put it up, and all three of us, they were kind of overlapping. So I went and reduced them a little bit. So you can edit it once you try it and say, that's not quite right. And it took a minute, maybe 2 minutes to do it. So, and I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination.
She's better than you think. And
yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, no, I got it. Good.
Yeah, she's better than she thinks.
So Juno says, are ETs aware of where cameras are active? And do they wish to be detected on cameras or avoid them? Good question.
Yeah, it is. But, Juno, that's going to be the individual ET or ET race. But
I would think it would vary too.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Yeah, they do. They are very aware of it. And it does depend on the individual. And if they want to be seen or not be seen, if there's a reason for them to be seen, they will be seen.
Right.
But yeah, they're very aware of the cameras, and they know, and they're telling me they can even disarm or disengage. I'm not sure what the right word for that.
Disengage the camera make the camera quit working. Like they did the nukes in the how they made the nukes working.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're very aware of it, and they can mess with your cameras, and it's an individual thing, and they're only going to show themselves if there's a reason that they want to be seen. So looks like to me they're the ones in control of that one. So there you go.
Yeah, their technology is so much greater than ours. I'm sure they can turn anything on or off they want.
Well, they're not showing me that it's from technology. It's something to do with their own energy that they can affect it, which really,
really being able to manipulate their own energy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Oh, we have another question.
Yep.
Before we go any further, chat, would you all look at Heather and the shadow around Heather? Can you guys see that? Let me take off this banner for just a minute because it. So when Heather and I
The
first,
larger I am, the bigger you can see it.
yeah, have a look and tell us what you see around Heather, because before we came live, Heather and I were in the background trying to figure out what it was, and Dr. Gail popped on, and Heather already knew, she already said, and then Dr. Gail popped on, and then we got clarity or confirmation. Yes, that shadow are the energies of beings that are standing around her, which is actually the feminine side of her family,
Mhm.
ancestors. So we couldn't get it out of the picture, and it's her mother, and her mother's not going anywhere. So it's her mother, her grandmother, I think your great grandmother.
No,
Yes,
just
her
my
mother.
great grandmother, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Remember you channeled Maggie? Maggie's there. She's my great grandmother. And you're not going to get her to move if she doesn't want to either. I'm frozen.
I'm sure that's true, but you're frozen, my love.
I the first thing they said to me, "We're not going anywhere."
Isn't that funny? We have I know her mother is around her 24/7. She's
Hmm.
always been around Heather since she's passed. But this is the first time that we've ever caught such a thing on camera.
I
And,
know.
on our show. I think that's just amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to go while you guys are talking. I'll go out and in, and
Well, it usually fixes itself eventually.
usually, but lately it hasn't necessarily.
Okay.
It's really weird, but I will be right back.
Okay.
Oh, you just
No, I didn't.
thought you moved.
No.
I just think it's awesome that they showed up.
I think it's really, really cool. So,
Okay, are you going to go out and come back in?
yeah, you go ahead and ask the question.
All righty then. Let's see what we had over here. Will we see more ET activity in dense areas such as large cities and metro areas? Oh, that's a good one.
Well, I'm hearing that there's already activity there, deep Albuquerque. Yeah, there's already activity there. So I don't know about seeing more activity there. It's just people just not recognizing that the activity is going on. But they're telling me they're already there. They already have a lot of activity in all the dense areas. But everybody's so busy and moving that they're just not noticing them.
Right. Because people never look up.
Well, they don't look up or beside them or around them, because what I'm seeing is even walking through the crowds, they're walking right beside them or right through them, and people don't even know who they are, or not even stopping or feeling the energy or paying attention to it. They're just so focused on what they're doing.
Right.
But so
mindlessly,
they're there. They're already there.
Or are they going to be more revealing that they're there?
It's not. I don't think it's more them revealing as much as us being able to see them.
And for us to see them, we have to raise our vibration to the point where we can visually see them. Is that what it is? It's a vibration level?
Well, it's going to be different for everybody, because some people are visual, some are audible, and some, tactile. Anyway, we all have our different things that we are.
Different clairs.
Yeah. So how it shows up, because for me, the beginning was smell. And so it will, everybody's going to be different on how they show up. Some people might not ever see them. They might only feel them. So that's just going to be different for everybody. But to see them in the 3D world, I was told a couple of weeks ago that they will be forced to be seen by the end of this year. I think it was December 2024. I'm not sure what will happen then, but something's happening in December.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I hope that answered your question. Whoops, let's see. Thank you for posting Dr. Gail's channel. Hi,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
and we've got one more. How do we know if ETs want to work with us, train us, perhaps?
Hey, Cheryl, well, the question is, I'm going to rephrase your question, Cheryl, because are you already working with them? It's not going to be my question first. And Cheryl, the answer is yes. So it's not whether they want to or want to work. You're already working with them. They're already training you. And I don't know if you want more details, Cheryl, but you, so it's not when, if, or where, that you're already doing it. And they're showing me that you're doing a lot of astral traveling while you're sleeping, because I can see you pulling out of your body. So I don't think you've moved to your soul or your light body going yet. I think it's just your astral body going. And the difference between astral body and light body, the light body is like your soul, and it's your light body that's going in the form, and it can be your human form or whatever, or another form that you take on, different age. That's your light body, but your astral body is almost like you can see through it, and it goes up, and it's almost like investigating, having fun, doing different things. So it looks like to me you're astral traveling. So that means you're not working yet. You have to be in your light body to be working. So you're not working, you're in training with them right now. And it looks like to me they're just exposing you to a lot of different things. Oh, I'm getting a huge yes on that. So here you go, Cheryl.
I have a question to follow up on that one. How do you, so it must be a contract that you're going to work with whoever you're working with in your astral body or your light body. But how do we as humans connect with that so that we know what we're doing, that we are on the ship working in our light body? I guess once you're in your light body, do you realize that you're that you're here and there?
Well, I do, but it just took some time, and I'm not real sure how to tell you how to do that. Of course, I'm very visual, so I'm seeing things. People, as I said, people are going to be different.
I don't see things, so right.
Right. So if you're audible, things are going to come to you that way. You're going to hear things, you're going to hear voices, or if you feel things. I mean, it's just different for all of us. So for me, being visual, I see things, and I'm not sure why I'm able to see what I'm doing, and I don't know why I'm able to see what other people are doing. That to me is another facet of I can go to spaceships and see what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not sure why I'm being allowed to do that. So, and I'm not real sure how to tell people to do it, but it came to me during meditation. So that's the only thing I can say. I can only talk about my journey. I can't really, and not at this point. I know my future will be helping other people how to do that. But
okay, you're not there yet.
No, I don't have that technique yet.
Cheryl, I would go to Dr. Gail's website. I'm sure it's in the description of this show on our page. And if you want more details, I'd go make an appointment with her because she's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, Cheryl, I don't have more details yet on that. I'm not seeing. I just see that you're just in the learning phase and you're going all over the spaceship and just seeing all sorts of different things. They haven't honed you in to what you want to do or what you're going to do. It just looks like to me when they show me somebody's in the learning phase, I always see them in a gray jumpsuit, and that tells me that they're in training. So you haven't quite even made it to the gray jumpsuit yet. You're just in your astral body looking around, and I think you're kind of looking around to see what you want to do. There'll be a lot more in the future about what you're doing when you decide what you want to do.
How cool is that? Okay, so do you see Heather? Do you see Heather working or on a ship, or is she in contact with ETs?
Okay.
You better ask that question rather than me. But I'm
Okay.
curious where she
Okay.
sees us on
One question at a time. What's the question?
that. Is Heather
Okay,
working?
Heather, you asked me. What's the question?
Oh, I think I am, but am I working on a ship?
Okay, the question is, are you working on a ship?
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
We have to be specific. Let's get real specific.
Yeah, if I don't, and I've learned the hard way, if I don't get down to the real question or the simple question,
Hmm.
ask the question right, you're going to get the wrong answer.
It's
So
true yeah, it's true with that. It's true with the Akashic records. You got to learn how to ask questions.
right. So is Heather working on a spaceship? I'm getting yes, you are.
Is it the Athena?
Okay. No, it's
Okay.
not the Athena.
Okay, doke. Just wondered.
I'm seeing you on a smaller spaceship.
That's okay.
Yeah, because I started on a little bitty spaceship. I love my little bitty spaceship.
I always laughed alone.
The way you talk about your first spaceship, it was like it was a little
And
convertible that you just traveled around the universe in.
I love the spaceship. White Dragon's always trying to get me to update it, and I love my little spaceship. I want it just like it is.
I don't blame you. It sounds like fun.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to ask about me. Am I on the Athena? Am I working on a spaceship? And is it the Athena?
Okay, let's simplify that. Am I working on a spaceship? Is that the question?
Yeah. Am I working on a spaceship?
Okay. I'm getting a no. Not at this time.
Interesting.
Looks like to me you're working with Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm definitely a grid worker.
Yeah, it looks like to me you're working with Earth, and I'm trying to see if you're working with any like Lemurian type people. No, you're working with the elementals.
That resonates since I have fairies in my garden.
Yeah, right now it's the elementals that you're working with. So you are working with Earth and the elementals here right now. It looks like to me you have been working on a spaceship before, but right now your job is the elementals here on Earth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Well, first of all, I didn't mean to ask questions about us. I apologize to the chat and you today.
Oh,
But I wanted to know more about your time in Mount Shasta. I know you moved to Mount Shasta 2 or 3 years ago to work with the Lemurians within Mount Shasta. Can you tell us how that's going and what's your update?
oh, well, first I'll catch some people up on that. Is that I was called out here to work with the Lemurians. Now I didn't know. I mean, I knew who the Lemurians were, but I thought it was actually the Palladians that were in the mountain. And then it was the Lemurians that were connecting with me and wanting me to move out here. So I wasn't real sure what I was going to get into when I got here. But then when I did get here, everybody did say it was the Lemurians that lived there. And I went, oh, well, good. That's who contacted me to move out here. And so I'm assuming that the Lemurians are actually a mixed race. I think they're a mixture of the Palladians, Arcturians, and Syrians. I don't think they're like one type of species in there. They do travel through the cave systems to different places. So you might see them down, does Florida have, they have underwater caves. Yeah. So yeah, they travel in the cave systems. And so they're all around us. Not all around us, but they are around. So you might be seeing them. And so my journey here at Mount Shasta is I've always been connected to above, the spaceships, the ETs above. So this was the first time that I was having to come and work with the inner earth beings, which are the Lemurians. And I have learned to work with the elementals. They are all over. In fact, this morning when I was on a show, I had a hummingbird show up. And this is the second time when I've been on a show a hummingbird has shown up. And this is February. I don't know why even a hummingbird would be out, but so anyway. So
hummingbirds are big and shamanistic.
Right. And I have been doing a lot of shamanistic stuff. I've been doing journeys, and I've learned how to get comfortable in the world and being in the world. When I started this, I was not comfortable. When Mother Nature took me down to, or Mother Earth took me down inside of Earth years ago, I couldn't hardly stand it. I kept popping up trying to get air, like I couldn't breathe down there. And so now I'm very comfortable going down. So that was a big change for me. I've learned a lot about that. Of course, here you see spaceships every day, so it's very commonplace to see a spaceship. It's like, oh yeah, spaceship. Yeah, there's another one. So it's very commonplace here. So I would say my journey in Mount Shasta is mainly is really connecting to Earth, which I was not as connected with before.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of interesting that that it brought you to connection to Earth when all we think about Mount Shasta is aliens and spaceships and all of that.
But I was already doing all that.
You were already there.
Yeah, and disappearing mountains.
And I think people think that Lemurians are a particular race, like you said, but they weren't. Even in Lemuria, they were from different galaxies, different places. Right. It wasn't all just one human race of Lemurians. It wasn't like that at all. They were basically all aliens, weren't they?
Yes.
So interesting. So you feel like your time is coming to a close.
It has come to a close, because one day when I was meditating, all of a sudden I felt a thump, like in my pelvis area. It was like a bump, and I just came out of it going, what in the world was that? And my Native American that always goes on my shamanic journeys with me was there. And he said, he said, he's always here for important things. And he says, we just put your root chakra back in place. And I'm going, what? What happened to my root chakra? Where was it? How did
where was my root chakra?
I'm going, I did not pick that up. How did anybody pick that up? That my root chakra.
How did we not know it was missing?
Well, it wasn't missing. What they had done was tied it to the ley lines of Mount Shasta.
Mm-hmm.
They were using my energy here. And so when it was a female.
You were truly grounded.
I was truly grounded. It was a female Native American that had taken her hands and taken my root chakra and went, poof, popped it up. And so I was released, and they said my job was done. Now, when I came here, I relieved somebody, and I don't know who that was. And there'll be somebody who comes and takes my place, because what they're doing is they're using our energy in this location. Mm-hmm. So I never knew I was tied to the ley lines, and I was asking, who did I get permission to do that? And I was asking all these questions. And going, yes, you agreed to come out here. And I went, I did, but I didn't know I was be tied to the ley lines.
So was that a healing thing for the ley lines at Mount Shasta? Did you heal those ley lines by being connected?
Yeah, I was going around. I was having to go to different locations and spend some time for healing. And probably the most significant one was a trail that I was going to, and I had to go to it. I can't remember, 5 days. I can't remember how many days. I'd have to go back and look. It might have been 7 days that I had to go down there for 15 minutes just to sit and have my energy present there. The thing I noticed before I was going there, it's absolutely beautiful trails, but there were no small animals there. There were no birds, no squirrels, nothing. And by the time I had finished my 7 days, I think it was 7 days, finally I heard birds. And then the next week I saw a squirrel, and I was going, okay, so that's what I was here, was healing the ley lines so the small animals could return.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so that was
Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that.
So, but I don't quite understand why my energy is so significant to do that. I don't quite understand that reason yet, why my energy.
I don't know that you ever will. Heather and I created a portal with somebody on the other side. my dead husband.
Mhm.
We never understood exactly why we did it. We just knew we had to do it.
Right.
And so I have a portal in my living room, but it's actually for information to go to the grid. It's a,
Oh,
I mean, it actually goes from the center of the planet through to the central sun. And it's basically just for information. I've had many different indigenous tribes from all over the planet send information, come and ask if they could send information through there. Now we just were like, it's open. You don't need to ask. Just do it, because it kind of is inconvenient to have somebody knocking on your door every 5 minutes. Can we do this?
right, right.
And
It's-
it was like that for a while, but go ahead, Heather.
There was one portal in the bathroom that I had to close. We had visitors that we really didn't need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of created by mistake.
Yeah, not a good surprise. Anyway, I had to close it.
Yeah, yeah. So and that was, we did that during COVID. It was years ago, and I know that it's still being used here and there, but I think it'll dissipate in time, because I think the way the energies have come in from the planet, it's not going to be necessary anymore, this particular portal, because it was to help help re-energize the grid that was there.
Oh, okay.
So I think it'll kind of go away. I don't have any feelings from it anymore. Do you, Heather? Do you ever have anything from it? I don't.
No, I never really did have anything from it. I just supplied energy to it.
There you go. See, sometimes you do things and you don't even know what you're doing or why.
And I still supply energy to it occasionally. So
Well,
although
would
it's
you?
pretty much self-generating energy.
Right. So the days are coming to an end at Mount Shasta.
Mhm.
When do you
Yes.
think you'll move? Where are you headed?
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be heading to South Carolina, but I have no idea when. I mean, because this is all new to me. It's all of a sudden here I am in Mount Shasta, and all of a sudden I've been released. So I was
Been
like,
released.
yeah.
I love the notice.
Usually when they give me notice, it's like a 4-month notice. So
Mhm.
they gave me a 4-month notice when I moved here from South Carolina to here. So I'm guessing that was my notice. That was.
Do you feel like South Carolina's home?
The East Coast is home. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I've spent, like, I opened my chiropractic practice and everything in South Carolina. And so I'm kind of tied to there. I feel tied there, but I'm mostly tied to the ocean in the Carolinas.
Right.
So that's really my pull. So it doesn't really matter if it's North Carolina or South Carolina. It's the ocean that draws me.
So you like the East Coast water better than the West Coast water?
Well, I grew up with the East Coast water, and you can go in the East Coast water. You can swim, and the West Coast water is cold. And so I would say probably the West Coast is more beautiful, but the East Coast, I really like going into the water. I like walking and wading in the water, and on the East Coast, even before I came out here, I was still wading in the water up until December. So
Wow.
that immersive part.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, the water in the beaches around Key West are not the best beaches on the planet. We have a lot of grass, and I don't get in it. I'm not.
There are great beaches in New Jersey, but what I missed when I was out in California is it's so peaceful, and there's so much more energy in the Atlantic. You have the breakers that are coming in and the waves that keep rolling, and I missed that. I could sit down by the beach and just listen to the ocean forever, but not in California. There's no sound.
Right.
Well, I disagree with in Northern California. There sure seems to be big beaches and rocks and breakers and stuff like that.
It's beautiful in Northern California, the beaches. And
yeah, I think it's
cool.
But
I was in San Diego, so it's Southern California.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very different in Southern California for sure. So you're headed back, and that means Miss Mary will have you at the, what's the rate? Is it the Raven, something Raven?
The Rustic Raven.
Rustic Raven. So you'll be back working together with Miss Mary. That'll
Yes,
be fun.
Yeah, we'll be working a little more on that, her, new center that she's going to be building. The Star Wellness Center, the Spiritual Wellness Center. We'll be working on that more too, probably.
Oh, I would imagine so. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Well, let's see. I think we have some more questions. Is it time to go to some questions?
Okay.
But you don't know what you're going to be doing with the ETs once you move, do you?
No, well, I know I'm going to be getting, no, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I know I'm getting a year of rest. So I don't know what I'll be working on. Of course, I'll be working on my book, the Forever book.
Forever book. How is that coming?
It's coming. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. The book is coming. Well, you'll keep us all posted anyway.
I will.
I'm going to highlight some questions. Do the ETs choose you, or do you have to ask?
Amy J, I think the ETs, you're already connected to, so I don't know that you're really asking, because so many of us already have, especially here in the chat, we all have our own star families, and we all have who we've been working with on other planets. You came down, you volunteered to come to Earth just to spend your time on Earth, but you came from a star family. So it's not like you need to ask, you just need to connect to your own family. So
I would ask to connect to my family is what I would do. Just like I feel like you have to ask your guides, to be in touch with them. So ask, if you haven't, ask your star family.
Right. Yeah. Ask to meet your star family, which you have a star family for sure.
Okay. Another one. This is a great one. Amanda Carroll, is the help or work we may do on ships for our benefit as much as theirs?
Well, okay. That's just a different way. As I was saying before, we all have our own star family, and we chose to come to Earth, and we came to Earth to help the Earth ascend. So it's kind of like we're helping both, but we were the ones that volunteered to come help Earth ascend and help humans. So whatever we do to help Earth ascend, it helps the universe and the other universes. So I guess it's a snowball type of thing. So it's helping everybody.
Well, that makes sense, because the Aquarian thought is that service to others rather than service to self, that the age of Pisces was. So we are actually moving into the service to others, more compassion, more community. So because that's what it's like on the other side. There's no separation. There's no judgment. There's none of this nonsense of war that we have on this planet. None of that really exists over there. We create that through our lower vibrations. So the higher vibrations, helping you helps me. Helping you helps the collective. So
yeah, Amanda, so you chose out of your star family, you were the one that chose to come to Earth and experience this, and to help the Earth ascend and help the humans ascend. So you're probably considered a hero, because they're all probably looking at you going, "Ooh, why did you do that? Why did you volunteer?"
I'm sure that's true.
What are you, nuts?
Sometimes I have that thought myself. Bemused Shaman says, several nights this week involved teaching younger beings about light work, I think.
So I'm assuming that's a statement. Several nights this week involved teaching younger beings about light work, I think. Oh, you think? You want to ask?
I think that's the question. Was I doing what I think I was doing?
Was she? Oh,
we lost her again.
Were you teaching younger beings about light work? And the answer is yes. No, I can see them all gathered around you. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were doing. You were teaching them about light work. And it looks like to me you were doing some kind of healing with that light work, teaching them about some kind of healing. and I'm getting a big yes on that. So there you go. So that verifies that's what you're doing, but it was more of a healing, how they could work with light and healing. So, gosh, that's great.
Wow, keep it up.
Yeah.
Cell Rods would like to know if I'm working with my star family, and if so, in what capacity?
Okay, let me see. First off, start off if you're working with if you're working with your star family. Well, we're all working with our star family, is what I'm hearing. In what capacity? I'm hearing teacher. Oh, I'm not sure about, I would have to get more into your energy to get down to more of what you're doing, but it looks like you're some type of teacher. And I really would have to get more into that energy to get to the details of this. But you're definitely working with your star family, and you are in some kind of teaching capacity doing that. And I'm getting a huge yes on that. That's just all I see is you up teaching.
That's lovely.
Yes.
Keep it up, Cell Rods. Okay. Akila says, last night I saw 3 green orbs.
Gosh, she's beautiful. Go ahead.
She is beautiful. It's inside and out. I saw 3 green orbs very quickly. Then it disappeared. I said, hi. Was it extraterrestrial beings?
Okay, let me see. I hear they're telling me energy, their energy. But let's see if they're extraterrestrial. I'm getting yes, they were. And they were in their energy form is what I'm hearing. I think when they go in their energy form, a lot of times that's how they show up in orbs, and I'm getting a yes on that. Sometimes they don't have physical forms; they just have their energy, and that's how we see them as orbs in different colors. And I'm getting a big yes on that. That's what this was. But they are ETs. It's just that they're a higher vibrational level, and to come down lower, they will take on a body form, but they just show up in orbs. Gosh,
Do they have any messages when they show up in the orb like that?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes it's just to say hi.
Right.
And sometimes it's just to be support is what I'm hearing. Sometimes they come in just for support of whatever you're going through.
Oh,
And it seems like to me that's exactly what they were coming for her, was they were supporting her. They were giving her affirmation of whatever she's doing.
That's great. How awesome is that?
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, they're wanting you to keep going.
We're getting more and more questions, ladies.
Okay.
Mary Ellen, am I working on a ship? Didn't we already answer that?
no, not
No?
from Leon.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. I immediately heard, no, you're working on another planet.
Cool, Mary Ellen.
Yeah, it's on another planet. And I just heard Venus, so I'm not sure about that. But I'm getting a huge yes on Venus. No, that's a great planet to be working on. The love planet.
The love planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's MEJ, that's what it is. Not working on a spaceship, but you're going up and working on a planet. And the planet seems to be Venus.
Wow. How fun is that?
Yeah. I want to go with that. I've been to Venus.
Have you? What's Venus like?
Oh, Venus is great. In fact, the reason I went to Venus is because my moon that passed is from Venus. And of course, it's the side that we don't see, or an area that we don't see. And it was beautiful. And what was the most amazing thing about it was the beings on there. They are super white, like
Paper white.
Like that white. They were white. And but the terrain and everything. And I remember there are some nefarious beings on there that we had to kind of run through or tried to not come in contact with, but it was beautiful. I mean, it was grassy and watery, but it was beautiful. It seemed like it was not grassy, but more like mossy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It had a beautiful feel to it, and the people, oh my gosh, they did too.
But there was a race that you weren't supposed to come in contact with?
Well, there's a race that when we were going to these people that we were, they were worried about something happening to me, that they would get me or something would happen. So,
Yikes.
yeah, I don't know what that was about. All I did was hang on and run. Just do what they told me to do.
Wow. That's kind of frightening.
It was a little frightening. And it was more frightening when we were going back because it was getting dark on Venus. And I'm going, how are we going to get through that? They seemed pretty relaxed about it and knew how to do it. I didn't. So I'm the one that was nervous.
Sure.
Because it was new to me. But we, and I know they were like on the other side of the river, and we were just making sure we were moving very quickly and being very quiet.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Liz Daly asks, I once saw two cloud formations in the shape of DNA, like twisted ladders. They didn't move and nothing flew in or out, but I did see a quick flash of light. Do you know what I saw?
Oh my gosh.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. Let me see. I'm not getting any big hit on that. I'm not really getting anything on that, Liz. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull a message because I'm hearing it's a message. I'm going to pull out my Rebecca Campbell, the Starseed Oracle deck, and I hear that it was just a flash of a message. Let's see what the message is. Oh, baby steps. It says baby steps. It says action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense to you. Wow, that's a pretty powerful thing, but that's your message: is take action, but take baby steps. It's not going to make sense to you right now, but go ahead and take some baby steps towards it. So, Liz, I don't know what you're doing or what you're thinking about doing, but I'm thinking that was a kind of a, I don't know, kind of a spark is what I'm getting. It was a spark of an idea that you need to be following your intuition. And that's what I'm getting out of this. Nothing other than just a message.
Well, that's pretty neat message.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. Linda Day Gonzalez would like to know if she's on a ship. Hi, Linda. You guys, thank you so much for all these questions. These are brilliant. Yeah. I hope you don't mind, Dr. Gail.
Oh, no, of course not. This is Linda on a spaceship. No, I'm hearing that she's more of an earthbound person too. Yeah, you're earthbound. But it looks like to me you're working with inner earth beings that we consider ETs, but they're inner earth beings. It could be the Lemurians, which I'm getting a guess it's the Lemurians. So you're working on Earth, in Earth, and it looks like to me you're working with the Lemurians. So you're not on a spaceship. You're on this big old Earth, working with the Lemurians inside of Earth.
Cool.
Let's see.
Well, I want to hear the latest with you two. What if contacts you had?
Well, you know that Heather moved to Denver in August, and in October, my 17-year-old granddaughter moved in with me, and today's her 18th birthday. So It has been strange. I never thought that I would be taking care of a teenager again, but it's actually been very interesting because we're very similar. We have a lot of similarities. I'll just put it that way, good and bad. I remember from my youth, if that makes sense.
So you now know what she's up to, though, what she's thinking about doing.
Oh, you betcha. But it's good. I adore her, and she adores me. So how can that be bad? You know what I mean?
Your metaphysical journey, what's going on?
Well, that's part of it. Actually, that's part of it. But recently, I have been getting crazy urges to move,
Yeah.
and it's been going on for several months now, and it just keeps. I keep getting more and more pushes to do it. So it looks like I'm going to be selling my house here, and the plan is to move to Santa Fe. What I'm going to be doing in Santa Fe, I can't tell you. Whatever they decide. I do have, this is going to sound so insane. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. I'm going to get a van, and I'm going to make the van as tricked out as possible to live in. And I'm going to live in the van, and I'm going to do our show from the road. And I'm thinking national parks, but I'm also getting hits that it's going to be more spiritual places.
Oh,
Cool.
that'd be great.
So I don't know that recently that's come in when it was almost like I was going, oh, maybe natural. We could do the show from national park, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, you got me on the road. Now what?
Right.
What am I supposed to be doing? I'm thinking
Right.
national park sounds really neat. There's quite a few I haven't been to. I've been to several. I mean, many in the Southwest and the Northwest of the United States, but not anywhere east of the Mississippi, really. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, I can do that. And then I hear, nope, it's going to be sacred places. So we'll
That's
see.
exciting. What about you, Heather?
I'm getting excited. About it.
I know I'm here for a purpose. I'm supposed to be working on the earth from here, especially the ley lines. They make me get a little bit nervous because I can feel the earth shake from them.
See, you feel the energy from the ley lines. You feel the energetic energy from the ley lines.
But I'm supposed to be working with them as well as the rest of the earth, and be my normal self. It says hello to everybody. Doesn't matter who it is, which is easy because the dog does the same thing. So doesn't matter what kind of dog it is that she meets or a person, she's right there. So we're good at that. I know I'm supposed to move in anywhere between 3 to 5 years. I don't know why or where or what I'm doing, but I get the impression that Denver is a learning preparatory place.
Right.
So
that's what Shasta was for me too.
Yeah. What I'm doing here, I'm supposed to take where I go next, but it's just a matter of getting everything going, and that's why they said 3 to 5 years.
Right.
That's how long it takes me to get there.
What about the metaphysical part? What about the metaphysical part? Has anything changed there?
I talk to them better than I used to, and obviously I've always seen shadows, but I've never seen one on the TV before.
I love the shadow around you. It cracks me up. Those that just joined recently, Heather has this shadow, and when Dr. Gail popped in, she says, "Oh, that's your mother and all your family members, all of her family members." So we couldn't get rid of the gray. It was going to stay there no matter what. And Heather's mother said, she's not going anywhere.
I know. I get my stubbornness from someplace. And I have affiliates all the way down the line.
Yeah, so true.
So anyway, I do try to, I don't succeed, but I do a lot of reading, a lot of things that people have given me to read. So I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of research, and I learn that way.
Right.
Well, we're still doing our show twice a week, and we have changed it from having a subject that we go into a research about, and that was getting too much for 2 times a week. So now we're doing interviews on Saturdays, like with you, and it's so much fun. I like both, But the other is too much for 2 days a week. It was just
It's solid work. Whereas this way, we can do what we need to do, hand it off. They can do what they need to do, but there's some freedom in there.
yeah.
Right.
You know what it gets like? You start doing a show, and then all of a sudden you're on somebody else's show, and then you're on 3 or 4 more shows, and before you know it, you're so busy you can't think. So we definitely slowed down quite a bit this year. And with Heather being in Denver and me here, that was a challenge at first too, but it's all worked out, and we love our show. And my guides want us to continue to do that show, do our show.
Yeah, I
Right.
think we're reaching the people that we need to reach, and we're doing what we need to do.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I feel very comfortable in that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
I
Otherwise,
know,
they'd be beating me on the head to do something else.
but I know the apartment building next door, they all say I'm connected. I don't know how that worked, but evidently they think I'm connected. They're right, but yeah.
My home base will be Fort Collins, Colorado, until I find property in Santa Fe.
Yeah, you got to find
Jenny.
exactly what.
Sorry, Jenny was asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Lori said the shadow is growing while you're talking about where you're going next. The energies feel so excited. Isn't that cool?
I've noticed that it gets up more and then it gets down again, but right now it's a little up. You're right.
That's fun. So, Dr. Gail, what are you up to next? Oh, we got more darn questions.
Yeah, because Tina's question was up there next,
Okay,
I think.
let's go back to Tina real quick. Hi, Dr. Gail. Am I still on the Athena with Susie in the kitchen? Are you the chef, Tina?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I can tell you a story about that, which was funny. When I saw Tina, when I went out there looking for her, she was in the kitchen cooking. And she was saying there's a cooking for the humans, cooking for the humans. Apparently, we humans, when we're up on the spaceship, we don't like the assimilator food. So
Really?
Tina, she's got, they're saying, want to make the humans happy, want to make the humans happy. Anyway, so she's up there cooking for us. And there's more than just Tina in there. She's in charge of that kitchen. And so she goes in and I'll go and make cupcakes and banana pudding and things like that for us.
I love it.
No requests, but yes, Tina, you're still up there, but you're now in charge of the kitchen. But you still go in there and we'll cook for us treats.
Ooh, that's nice.
Thanks,
Tina.
Like we humans are so spoiled, which we are, and that we have to have a special kitchen to make us happy for them to cook for us, because we don't like simulator food where all the rest of them, that's what they eat. That's the food.
I wonder why the simulator food can't be good.
It is good, just not to us. I just think we're spoiled.
And it doesn't
doubt
that a bit.
It isn't the same. It's almost like your mother's home cooking never tastes the same. So I think it's more like that.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more like bakery cookies versus homemade cookies.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Because who bothers with bakery cookies anymore? They're like, meh.
Exactly. There's no flavor.
That's right. It's all chemicals is why. So Wendy says, I have been so accident prone lately, especially around anything sharp. Not new to my life as I always have been, but it seems like it's an overdrive as of late. Is it just me or something else? Wendy, I can tell you it's something else, because I've been the same. I killed my computer knocking over a glass of melted ice that had root beer in it. And you know what? I did the same damn thing the next day. I said, I'm going to put it on my dresser. And I knocked it over again in the middle of the night on the floor where I don't know what I was doing. I got up to pee or whatever, and knocked it off the dresser.
Yeah, actually, it's part of the ascension symptoms, Wendy. And whenever you're getting ready to level up, things you tend to be accident prone. For me, I didn't know what was going on, and this was years ago. I kept falling. I walk the dog, and I'd fall. I trip and I fall, and this and fall, and I'm going, what is wrong with me?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's more like your third eye is opening up, and it throws you off balance. And I get a huge yes on that. So that's what's going on, Wendy, is that your third eye is opening up further, and it makes you just real accident prone during that time.
Clumsy is what I'm getting.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, and I'm so happy I have a small kitchen because I'm constantly falling against the counters and stuff.
Yeah,
I've been really clumsy the last month or so, just oddly so. And I attributed it to EDS, my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have hypermobility issues. So I just attributed it to that. Oh, that's why I was clumsy as a kid. That's why I'm clumsy now. But yeah, it makes more sense that it's ascension symptoms.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I think that's the last. Oh, I think that's the last one.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let me look and see. Oh, Wendy says, "Oh well, that's good. I cut myself at work and also hit myself in the mouth, and now I have a giant bruise on my face." Oh my God, you poor baby.
I feel for you, Wendy, because crazy things happen to me during that time too. So I feel for you.
Jeanine says she's been tripping a lot lately. I'm really having to be very careful and mindful of what I'm doing because I've been so damn clumsy.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when I walk the dog because there's pressure against me, which helps stabilize.
Keep you stable.
Mine was just crazy things like trip over a curve or trip over a step or
yeah, got to make sure everything's cleared out of the way.
Okay, Juno wants to know if ETs get dishpan hands.
Well, they don't use, well, of course, each species is different. I mean, I can imagine the ones on the aquatic planets and stars that don't get dishpan hands. And they don't use water like we do. So I'm going to say the answer is no, they don't get dishpan hands like we do. But it does go by species to species, because if you go gray hybrid and you're a gray human hybrid, I imagine they do get dishpan hands because they're part human.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got a couple more. Juno says, thanks, Dr. Gail. Okay, let's see. Nope, that's not one. Sorry.
Down further.
There we go. Stacy Amesbury would like to know if she's working on a ship, and thank you.
Okay. I'm getting no, but I'm seeing you. For some reason, I'm seeing you. This is kind of really weird. I see you out there in the universe, just floating around. This is really weird.
Just out in the universe, floating around.
It's almost like she's floating around the rings of Saturn.
Cool.
And I get a big yes on that. So they're floating. Now, Saturn is a big commerce center for the ETs. This big trade center.
Huh.
And even the rings have something significant to do with that. And so you're dealing with Saturn and something with the rings that, as I said, is a commerce trade center for the ETs. And the reason they pick Saturn is because it's very easy to spot, in the area. So that's where you are stationed. I know you must be doing something with the trades. Considered a trade center. The Saturn is a trade center for the ETs, so that's where you're at working.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It is.
Can you tell us about any of the other of our normal planets and what they're used for? Just generally, do you know? Out of curiosity.
One more time.
What, like any other planets? Like you said, Saturn is a trade center. What about Mars? I mean, do you know anything about any of the other planets?
Well, I know some of them. I've been to some of them, but this is the first time I've ever met somebody, Stacey, that is working on Saturn. So this is very, very new to me. That but I'm sure humans are there, but this is the first time I've met somebody that's actually working there. But Mars is a big place. I've had to rescue several humans that have gotten caught up in time travel from Mars. I'm not sure what they're doing on Mars, but that's just a huge place for us. We have bases on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had them since we've been on Mars since the 70s. We've been on Mars since the 70s.
Well, there's is it Tim Tactical that does a show that there's a show on Guy. I don't think it's Tim Tactical. It's another guy that has been on Mars, back and forth on Mars as part of the military secret program. Are you familiar with them?
I'm not. I mean, I'm familiar very much with that show, but I'm going by my own experience that I'm talking about. That I've had to help several humans that have gotten caught up in time travel that have come from Mars, that were working on Mars, and
it sounded to me like the military was using time travel. So I'm wondering if you didn't save military dudes that were caught up in it from.
Well, the ones that I was with were not military, but so you know what? It wasn't Randy Kramer. It's the
maybe somebody in the.
I'll think of his name in a minute. But anyway, it might have been Randy Kramer talking about working on Mars. But my experience, I can only go by my experience, and my experience is the one that sticks in my mind is his name was Eric, and he was from Ireland. He was not military, and he would come to the U.S. and he would go to Mars. And 20 years on Mars was equal to 2 weeks on Earth. So every time he would go there, he'd been there I think this was the third time he'd been there. And he was just a factory worker in Ireland. So he was not military. So I never did ask him. I don't think I was allowed to ask him what he was doing on Mars. And then I rescued another guy who got caught up in time travel also. And that was a real hush-hush thing because we had to get him to India because India has a special hospital there that treats the people who get caught up in time travel. So,
oh, wow.
So I can only go by my experience in them. I mean, I've seen the Gaia shows, the ones that talk about Gaia. I mean, talk about Mars and the military being there. But I can only go by what my experience is and the two people that I came into contact with.
Okay. That's fair enough. We have one more question that I missed. So Patty M., if you can repost that question, we're coming close to the end of our time, but I understand I totally missed that somewhere.
It's easy to do.
It really is. I didn't even see a Patty M. I think it might've been at the first.
I've been looking too, and I haven't seen it.
Sometimes, it doesn't show up on our end, even though they can see it. There'll be a question that we miss that Susie will go.
It just doesn't pick up.
Yeah, it doesn't pick it up. And I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, I think reposting is the best idea.
Okay, if you can repost it, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, we're gonna head out of here. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Gail. It's just a delight to see and spend time with you again. It's been so long. I kind of want to come see you in Mount Shasta before you leave, but I don't see that happening either. We're so busy here.
You got a lot of packing up to do.
Yes, apparently.
Downsizing. That's a big
again.
It ends
Yeah. It's okay. Thank you guys for being here. We sure appreciate it. If you get a chance, we do a weekly show on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. And what?
The question, I found it. It wasn't in caps, so we missed it.
Okay, can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, I would like to know who are the beings that show me the number 7 at times, and sometimes I receive telepathic messages.
Can you bring that up?
Nope, I can't. I don't know where it is.
It's right two before MEG that says, "What is my job on Venus?"
Okay.
Because it sounds like there's 2 or 3 questions in there.
Can you read the first part of it, like as one question?
I would like to know. And it almost looks like a white screen with an arrow down below it.
Well, can you read the first part of the question?
I would like to know.
I got it. Okay, hang on.
Good.
I would like to know, who are the beings that show me the number 7 at times? Thank you for letting me know, Susie.
I just let you know. I'm getting that it's your family. That's actually your family that's showing you the number 7. And apparently there's some kind of meaning in your family. I'm hearing
that number.
And now I'm hearing lucky 7. That's what I'm hearing.
That's cool.
It's a loving gesture. That's what it is. And what was the second part of that question?
It wasn't a question. It was just saying, sometimes I get telepathic messages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was no question to it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just a nice little sweet thing they're doing, this lucky 7, just an acknowledgement that they're there. So that's sweet. That's
maybe
really sweet.
to go play the lottery or whatever. Sevens.
Yeah, this feels loving and sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
All righty then. I guess we're done for the day.
Yeah, thanks, Heather and Priscilla, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Come back again
So much
soon.
for coming. It was so good to see you again.
It's good seeing y'all.
Everybody, thank you. Go out and shine your light. Send that energetic love out to the planet. Mother Earth always needs it, as does the collective. And join us on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 3 o'clock. And I hope we'll see some of you on our channel soon. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
And make sure that you're included in that love that you send out.
Exactly.
Shasta.